If you've been digging through 10-year-old guides to prep for Miss Pandaria Classic, I need you to do one thing right now. Throw them out. You see, what Blizzard is giving us, it's not just a re-release, it is a reforging. With the full launch of the game July 21st, they've gone back in time, cherry-picking buffs from old patches, pulling nerfs from the future, and adding brand new changes that nobody saw coming. This is not the MoP you remember, so today we're going to be exposing the one hidden change for every single class that is absolutely going to define the Miss Pandaria meta. Let's get into it. Before we dive into the classes, you have to understand one thing. Your 2012 knowledge, it's now a liability. The game is way different now because of Blizzard's classic retuning. They're balancing the game for the first raid tier, and they're really doing it in three major ways. The first way is patch reverts. They're moving buffs from later MoP patches to make some specs stronger right now. Think Affliction Locks getting their powerful late game damage back on day 1. The number 2 thing they're doing is importing nerfs from the Warlords of Draenor pre-patch in order to tone down specs that were way too dominant early on. The biggest victim so far? Shamans. They're also adding buffs that never existed in the first place, like adding more damage for Balance Druids, Fury Warriors, just to make them more viable from the start. The conclusion is simple. A talent's value has completely changed. What was trash might now be treasure, and what was mandatory might now be a trap. So let's cut through the noise. Here is the single most important meta-defining talent for every single class in this new environment. For Death Knights, Frost Decays get this massive cleave buff. Because of this, your overpowered meta talent is going to be Runic Corruption. More passive rune regeneration means more casts of your newly buffed Howling Blast. It is a perfect synergy for huge AoE damage. For Druids, Balanced Druids are getting a brand new flat damage buff to Moonkin form. That makes the burst from Incarnation, specifically Chosen of Elune, absolutely insane. Your cooldown windows, they just became a whole lot more terrifying. Jerome Bot here with a message. If you want to have the most fun launch ever in MoP, put an alt on Benediction Horde and skip the FOMO. Just come dominate the server for a few hours with us for insane world PvP that will set the forums on fire. For Hunters, the game changer is part DPS amplifier, part mitigation talent in Aspect of the Iron Hawk. Raid leaders, they just love a DPS that doesn't die, and this talent, it ensures it. For Mages, Cauterizes the ultimate PvE talent to look forward to, giving you an extremely valuable cheap death equivalent. But Fire Mages are also getting their crit multiplier reverted to its more powerful state. This means the 15% damage buff from Invocation. It's the absolute cornerstone of your burst rotation, giving you more consistent and explosive damage. For Monks, the linchpin of all 3 specs, it's Chi Brew. It's an off-the-GCD resource generator that fuels your burst, your emergency healing, and your active mitigation. Mastering this one button, it is the key to unlocking the entire class. For Priests, one big change was to give us less healing per point of damage done, meaning Priests will be forced to cast more direct heals instead of just healing through pure DPS. But we also got one even bigger change, the removal of the AoE target cap on your level 90 talents. This means Halo, Divine Star, they are now God tier. A single cast can heal the entire raid for absurd amounts, making you almost mandatory for stacked fights. And for Rogues, the new talent Anticipation. It is a massive quality of life and DPS increase. It lets you store extra combo points, and you can prevent waste and smooth out your rotation. For combat, that means more finishers, which means more cooldown reduction on CDs like Adrenaline Rush. It is a feedback loop of damage. Then for Warriors, the key to top tier damage is Bloodbath. It's a talent whose true strength is really found in synergy. On the surface, it causes your special attacks to apply a powerful bleed. However, its true power is how it multiplies with your other cooldowns, your Skull Banner, your Recklessness. That transforms your burst phase from a simple damage spike into an overwhelming flood of numbers, rewarding players who master cooldown alignment for maximum impact. Then for Warlock, the Paladin, the Shamans, these 3 classes have stories so big they deserve their entire own section. The changes they've received, they're not just meta-defining, they are meta-breaking. So now for the main event. Here are the 3 changes that are going to completely upend the meta as we know it. The single biggest DPS buff, it goes to Affliction Warlocks. The damage of their filler spell, Malefic Grasp, it has been increased by a staggering 50%, and its effect on your dots has been doubled as well. This transforms Affliction from a late-game scaling monster into a day 1 phase 1 single target powerhouse. That also means anytime there's any fight with movement, your single most important talent is going to be Kill Jaden's Cunning. The ability to channel your newly buffed high damage filler spell while you're handling mechanics. It is what will separate the good warlocks from the gods on the damage meter. Destruction is no longer presumed king. As for paladins, all 3 specs, they get huge buffs, particularly red paladins getting at least 10% damage buffs on all their major damage CDs. That means clemency is more important than ever because you're bringing some of the best damage in the game, combined with insane utility on all your hand spells, your bops. It's amazing. The biggest healing story though is a single reverted nerf for Holy Paladins. The talent Eternal Flame will now once again have its heal over time effects trigger your mastery. That creates small absorb shields anytime you use the ability. It's not a minor tweak, as it introduces a completely new healing style called Absorb Blanketing. You'll proactively cast cheap Eternal Flames across the raid, not for the hot, but to constantly refresh a raid-wide layer of damage-absorbing shields. This single change, it has the potential to propel Holy Paladins from just good tank healers into S-tier raid healers, competing directly with Disc Priests. Not all meta breakers are buffs though, because Shaman healing in general, it's been completely gutted. First came the healing rain nerf by 25% for restos, but the single most impactful nerf is the one hitting the Shaman ability Ancestral Guidance. Blizzard has imported a nerf from a future expansion, slashing its healing conversion all the way down to a flat 20%. This talent was the primary raid-saving utility for Elemental and Enhancement Shamans. It let them act as a temporary 4th or 5th healer. With this utility gutted though, raid leaders have to ask a difficult question. Why bring a hybrid DPS when a pure DPS class, it just brings more damage? This change is a massive blow to Shaman identity, and it could push 2 great specs to the bottom of the desirability list. So there you have it. Mists of Pandaria Classic, it's not a solved game anymore. It is a new frontier. Affliction Warlocks are now the new single target kings. Holy Paladins, the new absorbed gods, and Shamans are facing a serious identity crisis. The players who dominate this expansion are the ones who throw out the old guides. They understand these deep changes and are willing to adapt. The new meta, it starts right now. What do you think is the most broken change? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you have an alt or you just want to world PvP in MoP, join my ultimate PvP project on Benediction Horde today. You'll love it. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives, and I'll see you in Pandaria.